In breaking news tonight, Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister will be investigated by a leadership tribunal over a loan the PNG government took from UBS Investment Bank to buy shares in the petroleum company Oil Search. The special tribunal will hear allegations that proper processes were not followed and that the $1.3 billion loan was not in the interests of PNG. Now, in an unrelated case earlier this year, an arrest warrant was issued for Prime Minister Peter O'Neill over alleged fraudulent payments to a law firm. That case is now tied up in the courts, and it's important to note that the Prime Minister denies all of the allegations. Papua New Guinea's corruption investigator Sam Coyme was sacked after the arrest warrant was issued, but has since continued to investigate corrupt practices in PNG despite not being paid and having no budget to run his team. I spoke with Mr Coyme earlier and asked him why he's continuing to work when, according to the government, he has no official job.
Well, that's the claim by the government, and the matters are before the court. But in the meantime, the courts have restrained or stayed the government decision, which the effect of which allows us to operate and continue to do our work. And not only that, but the cost is far greater than any individual would want us not to work.
Indeed, I'll get to that in a moment, but with all of the court cases underway, do you think that you can operate effectively and make a difference on this issue?
It's really a difficult environment at the moment. We can only hope for the better.
Well, are you still investigating the Prime Minister?
Those matters are in court at the moment.
And so does that mean that you can no longer investigate the Prime Minister?
Until the court decides otherwise.
Well, on the court decisions, do you think that there will be a real conclusion via that court process, or is there a danger that the investigation and the cases will simply fizzle out?
I can't speculate what the court decision would be.
Do you think that you pushed too far or jumped the gun by tackling the Prime Minister?
That's what others may say. But we decided it's a collective decision and we made it on the basis of evidence.
Has that been to the detriment of the investigation of broader corruption in PNG?
It depends on the way, which angle you're looking at, but at the same time we have no regrets for taking the actions that we've taken.
So what are you working on at the moment? What job are you able to perform, given that the limitations that the court cases place on what you're doing?
Well, the court cases do not affect other cases. We've registered over 340 cases, so there's a couple of cases that we are working on at the moment, and I can't reveal that to the media.
Do you think that you have enough resources, enough power, in spite of the legal restrictions that we've talked about, to do the work that you need to do?
All those officers who form part of the team still have their powers and they can still carry on the work despite the limitations. With the resources-wise, we haven't got any funding to continue our operations. That's all of this year we haven't got any funding.
Yeah, well, how do you continue to operate with no funding?
Well, that's the thing. So we are, kept in this situation at the moment.
Do you think that Task Force Sweep achieved anything before it was disbanded by the government?
Yes.
What?
Our achievements have been, published in the media and people know about it. I don't need to go over all of them, but just a few. We've had 3 successful convictions. That's in terms of criminal investigations. There are other areas including recovery of procedure of crime and tax recovery that we also conducted.
Yes, and to what extent have those cases and the case against the Prime Minister helped bring international attention to the issue and specifically the attention of the Australian government to the issue of proceeds of crime?
Well, if I am understanding you correctly, Well, corruption also transcends borders, and Australia has a lot of investment in PNG, and Australia has had a lot of input in PNG, so Australia is also equally interested to see corruption reduced in PNG, as I understand. So they should be equally interested.
What do you think is the biggest barrier to you cleaning up corruption in Papua New Guinea?
Corruption is multifaceted and there are many challenges that we have. But among them, I think, in my view, the biggest one is we need behavioral change. We need to raise a generation, a clean generation who can stand up and do the right thing because it is the right thing. Not because the wrong things are fully protected.
And how brave do you have to be to do that?
You have to be courageous to fight corruption because sometimes when corruption fights back, it can dig you to where you buried your womb, and it can hunt you to where you are buried in your tomb. So from womb to tomb, you must be prepared to be clean and to do the right thing.
Sam Coyne, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.